This is the Appliance Alliance podcast, where we are elevating the appliance industry, one podcast at a time. Hey guys, and welcome to the Appliance Alliance podcast. I am your host with the most equipment, Zach Kreider, and alongside of me, as always, the original graybeard, the man with a plan, Mr. TK Cousins.
What's going on, everybody? We are doing this recording here tonight and continuing our, Women's Month. I'm pretty sure this is going to air still in Women's Month, and we have a lady of the industry. I wouldn't say necessarily specifically appliance industry, but the service industry. And we have been doing a lot of different features here lately on different, dispatch management softwares. We did Field Pulse, we did House Call Pro, but I kept hearing about this company, and I actually originally heard about this company from Miss Ward. Everybody knows Miss Ward. We love Miss Ward. She was on a few weeks ago. And I kept hearing about it. And then I started hearing about people that were actually using it, and it sparked my interest. And I said, well, we got to see if we can get them on the podcast. So I reached out, and we heard back from Melisa Meral. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
All right, I got it right. We heard back from Melisa Meral, and she is with us tonight. She's going to tell us a little bit about Workiz and just what it offers and the different things that their platform can do that maybe other platforms can't do, and all that good stuff. So, Melisa, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and then a little bit about Workiz?
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me on today. I'm Melisa Meral, Partner Development Manager here at Workiz. We are based in San Diego, California. We are VC backed, growing rapidly, hoping to double in size this year here in 2021. And yeah, we're a field service management platform. Obviously lots of competition out there, but we are, staking our claim here in the ground. There's so many appliance repair businesses right now that are just taking off, booming with the ongoing pandemic, people being home more often. And so we're really trying to offer that all-in-one business solution to try to help these business owners get off and, get soaring, growing, and scaling.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Good stuff.
So how long has Workiz been around?
So we've been in business technically for like 20 years. It was actually started by a couple of locksmiths here in San Diego, a couple of surfer dudes, hanging out on the beach, locksmithing in their free time, actually ended up turning into a huge operation, over 30 employees, probably even more than that if I have my numbers right, and really just took off. They started the company as named Send a Job way back in the day. Workiz kind of came into play about 5 years ago, I think. So, name has changed, but the whole system has really stayed the same as far as the mission. One of my favorite stories is that these guys were trying to track their ad spend back in the day when you would advertise in the newspaper, the penny saver, bench ads, billboards. We didn't have the internet, or at least nobody was really using it as they are now. And they had 5 separate flip phones, like those little, brick phones, and each one had a different phone number. And so every time they listed an ad, okay, that's the bench ad calling, that's the Yellow Pages calling, that's the newspaper calling. And that was their version of figuring out how to spend their ad money and their ad dollars. So, definitely a bootstrapped company. And here we are today, VC backed, just hit our Series B and got 13 million.
That's awesome.
Awesome. For the rednecks and the hillbillies that don't know whatever you just said VC backed means, what does that mean? I don't even know.
It means we have investors. So we're at the stage of our business where we're no longer in like our seed funding round or our Series A round, which is like the very basics when you, TK, would want to grow and scale your company and say, okay, I really want to do this the right way. I want to franchise out, or I want to open 50 locations, or I want to really make this $1 billion business. Typically, you would go and try to get some investment funding, some venture capitalists.
That's what it stands for, venture capitalists. Okay. Mm-hmm. I do know that term. Thank you for clarifying.
Sure.
I can read a schematic, but I don't know fancy terms like that.
I love it. This is why we balance each other out so well, my brother.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, because you were telling us in the pre-roll a little bit about how you ended up working for Workiz.
Yeah, so I actually owned my own field service business prior to joining the company here at Workiz as a partner development manager. And honestly, I think what really helped is just me understanding the industry, understanding having multiple techs and team members out in the field, needing that GPS routing, needing that location tracking. I was sick and tired after running my business for almost 9 years. 2 years officially with like the LLC and everything. You guys know how that is, but like 9 years as far as having to text customers every night before their appointments. Hey, reminder, we'll be there in the morning. And when you grow and scale, you start hiring, 4 or 5 people. That is so tedious, having to manually text people, confirm we're on our way. This is our ETA. There's traffic. We're running late. Will you leave us a review? All the communication that goes along with it. So that's really what drew me to Workiz, is that kind of business efficiency and process workflow standpoint that is like, sounds silly, but that's like my passion in life, is obviously organization and priorities. So yeah, it's kind of how I came to be.
That's cool. So, real quick, for those that don't know, just give us like the quick and dirty on the software, kind of how it works, like just the real quick and dirty.
Yeah. So just like the example with the locksmiths way back in the day here in San Diego, the surfer guys, Workiz at its core is a communication platform with a built-in phone system. So we have proprietary system. We don't use like VoIP plans like, Google Voice or whatever. You're actually getting a masked number when you sign up with Workiz. So just like you would text your Uber driver, your Grubhub, your Postmates, your Uber Eats, you're not actually having their exact phone number. You're having a masked phone number. So that's one of the core kind of priorities of the system. Second thing is that instant communication with your customers. So like I said, no longer having to manually text all those customers with their appointment reminders. Hey, we got your booking. Here's your invoice. You can even text, invoice payment links, all that good stuff. And then beyond that, we service around 100,000 field service techs right now. So we have about 100,000 users on the platform, obviously hoping to grow that here in 2021. But mostly in the HVAC, appliance repair, junk removal, locksmith type space.
That's awesome.
So one of the things we realize is that no software is one size fits all. And so like certain ones, I can think of a couple off the top of my head, are geared more towards one type of business or another type of business. And it's true all the way through this space. Like, I don't care where you go. It's true. It may not be a fair question. So if it's not, just tell me or shut up. But where would you say you guys are more geared towards? Like, who seems to fit your mold a little better?
Yeah, so I would say our sweet spot is probably like that 5, 10, 15, 20, even 30 employee operation. We're very robust. Like I said, if I was managing my pro home organization business on my own, I probably wouldn't need every single feature that Workiz offers. We are very competitively priced within the market, I will tell you that. But typically it's going to be those those companies that are growing, scaling, hiring teams, maybe opening multiple locations, things like that, not so much the one-man show. And then just one other thing to note too is we do have customers and users that are franchises. So we work with several nationwide franchises. And sometimes these guys have like 150 techs or 150 trucks in their fleet. So we can go up to that level, but I'd say our sweet spot is more of that like 5 to 50 range.
Gotcha.
Most important question, and if we don't ask it, we're going to catch grief. Do you have inventory?
We do. Yes, we do. So obviously starting as a locksmith company, at its core, believe it or not, locksmiths have tons and tons and tons of little things that they have to keep track of. So all the little pieces, all the little microchips for car keys and you name it, we have it as far as inventory. Basically the system, everything is one click to do anything, to send an invoice, to book a job, to turn a voicemail into a job, to turn a lead into a job, all that good stuff, one click. Second thing is, it's all customizable. So say like you have these very specific parts, washer dryer parts for Samsung versus Whirlpool versus this versus that. You can customize every single line that you'd like to.
That's awesome.
Is it kind of basic inventory? Is it more robust? So like say one of my technicians takes it off the truck and we have 3 in the shop, like does it track pretty well that way or no?
Yes. So when you're actually adding the job, there's also customizable fields. So say you have your customer, you're popping in TK, you're going to TK's house to work on his dryer and you're using a specific belt. Basically it will know, okay, I worked that job. I'm going to deduct that because I know that guy used that part.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing that I've struggled. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm actually shopping for field, whatever you call this stuff. Dispatch software is what I call it. I'm actually in the market. I use Dispatch Me, and the more that I've shopped, the more that I've realized that Dispatch Me isn't the best, but it isn't the worst either. And I just haven't found the right fit yet. Like I liked Field Pulse. I liked House Call Pro. Zach's a huge House Call Pro fan. But I'm really just, and we interviewed David Zamir last week from Nana, and he's going to be putting out his app hopefully soon, and that's what I'm really waiting for. But I mean, I'm all ears because the inventory thing is huge for me as a business owner and as someone that is just starting to grow and just starting to add technicians. Like I want to make sure where my money is, and I want to make sure that my money isn't getting taken to fix somebody's washer machine in the evenings when TK doesn't know about it. So that's a huge thing. And so other than the inventory, what are some other key elements of the software that separate you from some of your competitors?
Yeah, so you kind of touched on it a little bit there, TK. The concern when you're hiring is always trust, right? It's, okay, I want to duplicate myself. I'm at the point where I'm getting so many leads and so much business that I need to clone myself in order to not just be turning down these jobs and saying no, losing money. We have call recordings on every single call that comes through that Workiz masked number, and you have your full messaging center to where you're able to see every single text, email, whatever that tech did that's on your team. So you have full transparency. A lot of times what we've seen in various different industries is you hire subcontractors when you're kind of overloaded. Maybe it's a busy season and you need to hire on some extra hands. The concern there is always, well, are they going to steal my clients, my parts, my people? What are they doing, right? Like you said, when TK's asleep. So that being said, we use this a lot for like performance management reasons. So say that you have an admin in the office, she's answering the phone, she's being nasty to customers. You need to be able to play that back and have a performance management conversation. That's why a call recording is great. Plus, hey, oh, can you actually text this number over here? I don't want to use this number. And then they end up going off with your client telling you that the job was canceled or that they didn't show up or whatever, right?
That's
So
cool.
call
Super
recordings, yeah, call recordings are huge. It's a little big brothery, right? But if you're going to be that 5-star business, Miss Ward is one of my very favorite partners, and she just loves Workiz. I'm sure you hear her talk about us all the time in her videos.
Yep.
And she always says, Workiz makes me feel like I'm running Fortune 500 company, and really helps you feel bigger than you are.
Hey, if anybody is ever going to run a Fortune 500 company, it's going to be Miss Ward. She'll be in Forbes. 20 years from now, we'll be reading about Miss Ward in Forbes. Well, let me ask you this, and I don't mean to hog all the question time, but I got one more question. As far as simplicity of use, that's really important to me, because not only am I a little bit illiterate, but I've noticed that a lot of technicians are also a little bit illiterate. So when it comes to ease of use with Workiz, how is that? Like, is it pretty simple to use?
Yes. So I forget what I was on. I was on some call with someone in the past week, and he goes, "This is like appliance repair software for dummies. Like, remember those yellow and black books that you pick up at Home Depot, like, grouting for dummies or roofing for dummies or whatever." He goes, "That's what this is." So
I got a whole library of those books.
Then this would be perfect for you, TK. Yeah, it's very easy to use. Very easy. Like I said, one click, customizable fields. Obviously, we have a full onboarding and implementation team. Anybody that signs up through Workiz, we'll give you a special offer here at the end, by the way, if you stay tuned. Anybody that signs up at the end will be getting 20% off 3 months of Workiz. So we'll give you that link. But if you want to try it out, you still get your 14-day free trial, which some of these other service providers don't offer. So we actually let you go in there, play with the system for 14 days, figure out if you like it. If you do, you can hit that link and get 20% off here with Zach and TK's discount.
Well, very cool. Thank you for that. We appreciate adding value back to our audience, because they make this all possible, and we hope to make their lives a little easier with those that we interview.
Definitely.
We do have a hard stop coming up. So, TK, do you have any final thoughts?
I wanted to say thank you to Melisa and the whole Workiz crew for coming on and offering us that promotional discount. I did catch you on TMM Academics show with Brandon, so shout out to Brother B. I thought that was awesome. Glad that you are supporting him as well. He's a great guy. So shout out to TMM and all that crew. Shout out to Ms. Ward for putting us on to Workiz, and we just want to thank you for coming on and sharing, because it was really a lot of good information. And now I was already interested, but I might have to do the 14-day free trial and just see what's popping over there.
Definitely. Once you do that, you'll get set up with somebody to give you a full demo, ask any and every question you might have. Usually those last about an hour. So carve out some time, play in the system. I know it was mentioned on a few other providers as well. We obviously integrate with QBO, so QuickBooks Online, if that's what you're using for your accounting. If you do get to the point where you can trust someone to hire TK, you can also use Gusto to integrate for your payroll. Makes it super easy to run your HR, benefits, payroll, all that good stuff. Tons of integrations. We're doing tons of stuff here in 2021. Just launched this partner program about 6 months ago. So really happy to have you guys in the program, and hopefully we can do more and, maybe do more episodes when we have some more time.
Sounds good.
Sure. Well, we look forward to it. We're so glad that you came on tonight. It's been a lot of fun. It was cool to talk to you in the pre-roll as well, and kind of get some background and hear your story a little bit. And I know we didn't get into a whole lot of that, but we'll definitely have you back on sometime. And guys, as always, and gals, like, comment, subscribe, share, sign up for the Patreon. Literally, you get the behind the scenes stuff. What are you sleeping? It's $5. Come on.
Quit being cheap.
Yeah, quit being cheap. We know you're making money because we're making money. I just totally sidetracked myself. But yeah, if you're listening to us on the audio platforms, make sure you give us a rating. That helps it get out there in the wild a little more. And until next time, the Appliance Alliance signing off.